To a Nitpicking Nerds rant on etiquette.
In this episode, we're going to rant about etiquette.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy. Together, we're the Nitpicking Nerds, but that's not all.
I'm Nick.
And this is Nick, who is our special guest today.
And also our friend. We didn't just recruit someone random.
No, he's just a special guest.
There was a vetting process where we interviewed him. Series of interviews. Just you remember Tim Root? I'm sure we'll cut to a clip of Tim Root, our other friend who's been on here.
Hey, I'm Rude.
Shoutouts to Rude. Okay, but this is Nick, not Rude. And we're going to just talk about some of our editing, kind of like 50% pet peeves, 50%
things that you just shouldn't do.
Yeah, things that we don't like doing. I guess we can just kind of go in order and like one person can start it off. So you're the angriest of us. Why don't you start with number one?
You just said the salt.
The saltiest.
I'm not the angriest, no.
Salt Bay is literally sprinkling salt on your head right now.
That's true. Salt Bay is sprinkling salt on my head.
What we got?
Number one, pay attention. Oh my goodness. If you have to ask what is happening in a game of EDH, or you walk away and you come back 3 turns later, don't do that.
Unless you're the phone life tracker guy, put your phone away. Put your phone away.
Like,
I mean, how many times have we play Commander all the time? How many times?
I do it a lot, so.
Yeah, exactly. How many times are you a piece of garbage? This is just calling you out over and over and over.
I don't hate.
That's why I was invited.
I don't hate people using their phones. I really dislike when they get up from the table.
Well, it's a two-parter. You can use your phone, but don't be like, what does that do? What happened? Or if I'm like, hey, Nick, you got to kill that artifact. I mean, why? What's going on? It's like, were you not paying attention?
Yeah, it's a caged sun. It has to die.
Yeah, it has to die. You literally have to kill it.
Yeah, and if you don't, you'd be a complete idiot.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right, Nick, you can start us off.
All right, so second one, complaining isn't politics. That means
Testify.
That
you
means
can't just be like,
being a poopy baby
Yes.
is not being
Making
a
deals.
political genius.
I don't know, there's a lot of value in just whining and complaining until you get what you want.
Yeah?
That's why we hate it. It's just like, if you threaten real-world consequences, as they say, then it's not a game of EDH anymore. I don't know what it is.
Kill the cage son, I'm not your friend anymore.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess I won't kill it because you're being a jerk.
Yeah.
And then we all lose.
Yeah. BZ had a story about somebody complaining, and then going off on like turn 3. He was going to die very early, and then, because he had the combo deck,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and he complained, so the other person let him live. And then
I was like, I
he
thought
just
that was
comboed
you.
off.
I was like, I thought you were talking about yourself for a second. I was like, I don't remember you winning on turn 3.
Wait, is that me? I didn't call it out?
No,
Okay.
it's anonymous game store person.
Anonymous.
They go to a different school. You don't know them.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know them.
Yeah, yeah.
BZ, why don't you read this third?
Number 3, we have coined the end of turn special. And this is kind of like you're not paying attention, or you just want to watch everybody else suffer, or you like multiplying the time wasted by 4 instead of just not wasting any time. So you have like turn 1 Polluta Delta, and pass to Nick. Okay, he does whatever. Pass to Joe. Okay, he plays Soul Ring and Signet because he's lucky. Pass to someone else. They play a land. End of turn, I'm going to fetch, guys. I'm going to get a tap land. And then it's like, you want this? You want Fetid Pools? You want Underground Sea? Should I just get Swamp because I have Sunken Hollow in my hands? Like, oh my god. Come on. Think about that. Don't do that trash.
As a blue player, I think it's important to distinguish, though, like holding up counter magic and counting Fact or Fiction out of turn.
Yeah, that's
that's different.
That's definitely different.
Yeah, casting a fact fiction on a turn is fine. It's like a fetch land. How about a Steve? Let's talk about a Steve. Okay, just talk to whoever you play with.
Here's what we do.
Just talk to whoever you play with. Say, if I need a blocker, I have this Steve, and I'll sack it now, and then you can search. It's so much easier.
They can't ever stop you from unless they stifle it.
Like a Burnished Heart too.
Right. Burnished Heart's like, this is out. I leave it in play, get the lands, and tap my mana.
It's so much easier. And I mean, and every play group can't do that. Like I'd say maybe if you're in a group where there's lots of stifles running around, you can't. But
I mean,
how many stifles are running around?
Even if
Stifle Bird?
you still do it with stifle because you still have the block and sack.
Mm-hmm.
All that changes if they stifle it.
That's
They
true.
can just let you know. You can just shuffle it. It's definitely worth. That time you're wasting 20 seconds, but every other time you're saving a minute.
Yeah. Oh,
I
just don't sack things end of turn.
Like end of turn Vamp Tutor's fine because the turn can change. If it's like a big turn where it's like I don't want them to know I have Vamp Tutor, and I have to tutor for maybe either a board wipe or a win con, that's fine. That's different.
And, like, you can always fetch and say, oh, it'll be untapped if I have to use it.
Yeah, that too.
No, there's so many ways to shortcut it. This is one of my personal pet peeves.
It's a big one.
It drives me insane. Understanding priority. The literal rules of Magic. When I cast a card, the person to my left gets to respond, then the next person, then the next person.
And
That's how it works.
If it gets back to you and no one responds,
card
whatever's
resolves.
about to happen, the ability of the card resolves. But some
Like,
people don't do that.
Do not jump turnover to counter a spell. If someone casts a big spell and there's 2 blue players here, like in front of me, like one to my left and then another one like diagonal from me, if there's 2 of them, and I have to tell, and the one over here just jumps in, I'll counter it. When this guy's at 15 mana open, that drives me insane.
There was one time where Joe cast a spell, and I had like 20 mana open, and the person on my left was just like, I'm gonna counter it.
But he
so
didn't even have priority.
I didn't. Yeah,
So
I got to keep my counter spell. I was
You
happy.
drew a card.
I drew a card,
He discarded a card.
and it also allowed me to cast Dig the Time at a turn.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's like
I loved it.
completely changes the game. It's just like you don't need to do that. I mean, and I don't like the reverse
So-
of that where everyone's arguing to try to get the spell to resolve. It's like, okay, you have something or you don't have something. You are the person who needs to decide right now. Otherwise, you don't get to do anything unless someone else does something.
You
Pull
got-
the Dwight Schrute. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Now.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Summon the card.
Yes, that's a big one. And Nick can introduce the final point we have for our little rant.
Concessions aren't spells.
This one is so
Dang, that was-
annoying.
you just screamed it
I
at her.
love the passion. First time on, you got to be passionate.
You
gotta
do.
drive it home.
You gotta scream.
Why don't you explain what you mean?
All right. So if you're gonna concede, you can't just be like, "Oh, you're gonna attack me? I'm gonna concede here, so that it can change your attackers." Or I'm swinging with 50 lifelink. Well, I concede. Guess what? You gain no life.
It's ridiculous. I mean, come on, that's pretty childish. I mean, I'm not calling anyone out who does it. Anyone has their own reason to do it. I just feel like it defeats the fun point of Commander, and you're out of the game either way. So why would you try to spite somebody? You have no more pull in that game. It's over.
But I will say this. I do think that this is okay. If somebody attacks you with everything and you're going to die, like if you have a Swords of Polish, you're swordsing one of their creatures. That's perfectly reasonable.
I mean, because
People
there's
get-
a difference. That's a spell.
Yeah, no,
You're
I
actually
agree. I
casting
agree.
Yeah, you can
spell.
take a game action, but when you like do things out of the game, like concession, that's like
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. But like people also, on the other hand, don't like that. They don't like spite. Like oh,
That's something for your playgroup. But I think I can't imagine anyone likes losing 50 life because their opponent was like kind of mean.
like I just like what I'm saying. So let's go to that. So like I think the concession thing is we're absolutely all on the same page. But when it comes to, I think you should be able to use spells.
That's fine.
Even if you're gonna die. Because people, we had a big thing when we were playing like a weird Legacy Cube draft. One of our friends did a spiteful play because he was gonna die,
Yeah.
and someone got mad. I'm like, well, I think that's perfectly reasonable to do. I think they attacked you with everything. You have mana for this spell. Why not use it to hurt them?
Yeah, it's like, okay,
They're literally knocking you out of the game.
something
I
that I,
don't
can
see
imagine
why.
happening. It's like, okay, you pay 50 life with Aetherflux Reservoir to kill me. It's like, I'll respond, I'll cast Psych Rift. It's like, that's just like kind of fun.
at the same
I don't know.
time, I don't like it when you target someone that's just not into it for random reasons.
Well, yeah.
I've had that before where it's like, I'll kill your thing for no reason. It's like roll a dice. I have a spell to cast.
Yeah, that's
I'll
a little
kill someone
weird.
random.
Ooh, okay.
That's on the person, I think.
Here's another thing that BBZ doesn't like. While we're talking
Number
about
6.
Number 6.
Wait, why don't you whisper it to me, and then I'll tell them. Oh, yeah, so
Nick.
I figured this out with when I built Queen Marchesa. Don't attack people randomly. Don't roll a dice. Don't roll dice or a die to determine who you will attack. Just make an enemy, start the game, get something moving, and it's not like, well, guys, I rolled a 4, so I gotta attack you, Nick. And it's like, Nick doesn't feel good about that. It doesn't, like, stop Nick from being a little irritated. It's just kind of waste some time, and you're not taking responsibility.
Like, just play the game.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
make
not
a
gonna-
decision.
I'm not even gonna take it like attack you for 3. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you can
It's
never
not like
take-
We can't build. Yeah, we can't make a deal later. No, it's fine.
You shouldn't be taking anything personally from EDH. If you're taking it personally when somebody attacks you, then you're doing it wrong.
I mean, yeah, that's not what EDH is
It's
about.
a game. It's a game that people are playing, and everyone is your opponent in a game of EDH. So you should expect them.
You'd expect them to be trying to win.
They're going to betray you at points. Like you always have to expect to get betrayed. If you make a deal with the person to the left of you, that deal has to be broken, or else.
Eventually.
You can't
Unless another player wins the game before that.
or you tie somehow.
Yeah.
As we're filling the void,
Yes.
don't you say concessions go along with it should not be a form of politics?
Right. Like, oh, I'll concede if you do X, Y, Z. It's like,
Yeah.
Are we like the conceding as a sorcery rule, where it's like, it's your turn, you can concede. I also think that can be broken if every player other than one person wants to concede.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going off, but it'll take 10 minutes. Well, can we? It's over. Everyone can agree to just end the game.
That being said, one of the funniest plays that ever happened was the one that got nicked by the maddest.
What?
And don't you? Me and you made a deal where you had to save me. Or no, somebody made a deal where I said, "You don't kill me."
We don't make deals.
I made a deal with somebody. I'm like, "Let me live. I will be able to kill Nick, and then I'll concede to you." That's what
that was so frustrating.
Yeah, that was weird. That's a gray area.
I don't know. Don't
do it.
I know it was funny
It's
at
wrong.
the time. That being said, it was so funny at the time.
It keeps him up at night.
It was-
Joe wakes up in a cold sweat. Not that I would know, but he tells me that he wakes up in a cold sweat. And I'm like, dude, shut up. No one cares.
I
Yeah.
still
And then BG goes back to cuddling with me.
I don't. That is not canon. We are not in a relationship. Okay. Heterosexual for me.
If you ask people at our local game store, most of them will say we're in a relationship.
Oh, they're definitely dating.
No. I'm straight.
It's okay. We're all friends, buddy.
Straight.
You're allowed.
Surprise! This actually is the
End the video.
BZ coming out
No,
video.
it isn't. End the video. Talk about our patrons. Subscribe to the video.
Special shout outs to our 3 patrons who are over Nick's face right now. No, that's 3. 4 patrons.
Upgraded a patron.
Adam, Dustin, Tyler, Joseph, all of our favorite people in the whole wide world. We like them so much more than Nick. We put them over Nick's face.
Also, special shout outs to Nick for being on the show. Great to have you.
You already insulted me.
Great to have you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that you didn't
Great to
double
have
extend. You used the right.
Yeah, that's good. I would have double extended. Peace out,
you're
Traps.
just wrong.
It's
Nope,
fine.
shut
Oh
up.
my
Peace
God,
out,
we're
Traps.
done.
Peace out, Traps.